Hi folks, I'm John Thornton, co-founder of the Pain Cure Clinic, where we teach people how to live a pain-free life. Welcome to this video, which is all about how to diagnose your chronic pain. You know, one of the first questions and the most common questions we get here at the clinic is, how do I know whether the pain is psychosomatic or real structural pain? And of course, both types of pain are real, they're just different. So in today's video, I'll show you how to determine whether you have what Dr. Sarno called Tension Myositis Syndrome. Let's see if that diagnosis is appropriate for you. And I'm going to assume that you've gone the medical route and are not satisfied that they know what they're talking about. That could be a smart move. Here's the difference between the two types of diagnosis. With a medical diagnosis, the pain is almost always designated as structural or genetic, and the diagnosed location of the pain is usually hard tissue like discs or soft tissue tears like meniscus or rotator cuff. On the other hand, with a psychogenic diagnosis, the pain is caused by negative emotions like tension and is usually located in the soft tissue like tendons or muscle tissue, but they are not torn or broken and you don't need surgery. They're just tight, and the tightness is causing the pain. It's tough to diagnose yourself because we're programmed from birth that doctors are the only ones who are allowed to do that, period. Only people who wear white lab coats and went to medical school can diagnose illness, and most importantly, they can't be challenged. That's what we're told. You shouldn't even try because it's dangerous. I mean, did you go to medical school? Well, I certainly didn't, and that has been to my advantage. I was able to diagnose myself and then cure myself of chronic back pain very quickly after all the people wearing lab coats had failed. So let's look at some guidelines for diagnosing tension myositis syndrome. First of all, pretty basic, is your pain chronic, meaning lasting longer than 3 months? If the answer is yes, then that by itself is a good indication that it's psychosomatic pain. You know, Dr. Sarno once said that the body always knows how to heal itself of pain, and if that's true, then virtually all chronic pain cannot be structural. So if your pain is chronic, it's probably emotionally based pain. Okay, next, here are some more questions to ask yourself to help figure out if your chronic pain is TMS. Did you just fall down a flight of stairs? Did you get hit by a car? And I mean recently, not in 2007. Do you play in the National Football League? Are you a rodeo clown? If the answer is no to all of the above, if the pain just came out of nowhere as chronic pain usually does, or if you woke up with a sprained ankle, or the pain started after a minor movement that shouldn't have caused pain, then you probably have TMS. Don't be afraid to make the correct diagnosis. Okay, the third guideline for diagnosing your pain relates to, believe it or not, your personality. Now, according to Dr. Sarno, and we found this to be true as well, people who get chronic pain have common personality traits that are very, very consistent. So ask yourself, do you have a perfectionistic or people-pleasing or high achievement type of personality? If the answer is yes, then that also favors a mind-body diagnosis. My experience is that laid-back slackers don't tend to get chronic pain. The high-achieving personality type is almost universal. So if that's you, you're on the right track here. It could be, and it probably is, TMS. Also, some other things to consider that can help you diagnose your pain as TMS are: do you have multiple chronic conditions that are of unknown origin? Does the pain move from one place to another on a regular basis? Are you constantly battling different chronic mystery conditions? Does the pain come and go based on life stressors? And also, has the pain been going on for years? If the answer is yes to any of the above, a psychosomatic pain diagnosis is again probably appropriate. Now, by following these guidelines, you'll have a really good idea whether the pain is structural or emotional, but here's the next challenge you'll run into, and here's where a lot of people get stuck. John, how can I be sure? How can I be absolutely, completely sure that it's not structural? Well, the short answer is you can't be sure, at least not in the beginning, and the other problem is your doctor is going to supply you, if she hasn't already, with a contradictory diagnosis that she is very, very certain about, and that will further confuse the issue. So then where does that leave you? It's tough. It's a very tricky thing, but here's a good place to begin. Start by reviewing the results you've gotten so far by the doctors that you've been relying on. If you're getting good results, then by all means, stick with it. More power to you. As a matter of fact, you can stop watching this video right now. But you're not getting good results because nobody does, and I'm sorry about that. I can definitely relate. So maybe, just maybe, the diagnosis that you've been given is wrong. And if any diagnosis is wrong, then the treatment that follows is also wrong. So my advice is that if something, anything, isn't working for you after repeated attempts, then try something else, right? Does that make sense? So if what you're doing is not working now and hasn't been working in the past, and you're pretty sure it's never going to work, then think about switching to the mind-body diagnosis. That's what I did, and I got better several years ago, and I've stayed pain-free. I am permanently cured. Okay, that's it for this episode. If you like this episode, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you get a chance, share this with someone else you know who's struggling. And check out our free information and coaching options and our new online video masterclass at paincureclinic.us. There's a link below, and thanks for watching.